In this video, using this simple example, I will show you a few basic 3D modeling operations in Plasticity. Of course, this part is only an example and the things I show may be useful when designing other parts. If you have experience with other 3D CAD systems, especially technical and parametric 3D CAD systems, then your first contact with Plasticity may feel a bit strange and you may feel slightly lost in this program. In my case, that is exactly what happened. When I launched Plasticity for the first time, I had absolutely no idea how to start and I was already about to give up learning this software. I was going to uninstall this software and simply go back to working only and exclusively with FreeCAD. However, I decided that I would make 2 or 3 projects, and that was over a year and a half or almost 2 years ago, and since then I have been using Plasticity regularly. I also use FreeCAD as my tool for creating 3D models, and sometimes I use Plasticity in such a way that I create a 3D model in FreeCAD, and in Plasticity I add finishing operations that FreeCAD sometimes cannot handle. So these are various types of fillets or the thickness operation, which in FreeCAD can sometimes crash. Here in Plasticity it works quite nicely, and I'm only saying this at the beginning to emphasize that Plasticity doesn't have to be the main program we use. Of course it can be the main tool, but it can just as well be a supporting tool. If we are working with software for hobbyists, for small companies, for workshop, then sometimes you need to figure things out a bit in order to choose tools at a relatively low price that will allow you to work. And that is also the case for me. I use FreeCAD, which is completely free, but I also use Plasticity, which is not free, but the Plasticity license is perpetual, which means we pay once and then we can use Plasticity all the time. And the price of Plasticity license is relatively low compared with other 3D CAD systems, and this set of tools has worked quite well for me. And in this video I will briefly show you how, in my opinion, you can quite easily create 3D models with precisely defined dimensions in Plasticity. Even though Plasticity is advertised as CAD for artists, we can create elements here with precisely defined dimensions, with precisely defined shapes, and these can be typically technical elements. Now I will move on to this example, and if Plasticity interests you, I also encourage you to subscribe to this channel to learn more about this program. In this video and in the upcoming videos I will want to discuss some basic things from the point of view of a user of parametric 3D CAD systems. So if you have experience with such systems, for example with FreeCAD, Fusion, SolidWorks, Inventor or other programs of this type, and Plasticity interests you, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. And now I will move on to creating the part that I showed you earlier, and I will start by creating a circle. I choose the center circle command and I place the center of the circle at the origin of the coordinate system. Here, as you can see, I move over this point, I have snapping enabled, I click with the left mouse button, and now to precisely define the diameter of the circle, I press the tab key and type 150 here and press enter, and I have created a circle. Now I choose circle drawing once again, and I will draw a circle also with its center point at the origin of the coordinate system, and this will be a circle with a diameter of 50. So I press the tab key, type 50, press enter, and we have created 2 circles. And now at this stage I will create these slots. To do this I will switch to the top view. And so I will start by drawing a construction circle. I choose the circle drawing command, place the center of the circle at the origin of the coordinate system, and as the diameter of the circle I enter 100. This is a construction circle, and based on this circle we will create the slots, and now I will define the angular dimension of such a slot, and I will do it in such a way that I draw a line, and I draw a line from this point to this circle. I click the right mouse button to finish drawing this line. Now this line is selected. If it were not, I switch to selecting edges and select the line. And now I choose the rotate command, activate the list of all commands, press the F key, and here I type the name of the command. And we can activate this command by pressing the R key on the keyboard. I choose this command, and here by default the point relative to which this line will be rotated is the middle point of the line, and in this case it will not work for me because I want the rotation point relative to which the rotation will be performed to be this point, the end point of the line. We simply need to move this rotation point. And to do that, we press the V key to activate the pivot command, and now I can define the point relative to which the rotation will be performed. And now we define the rotation in such a way that we can do it freely or we can enter the rotation angle here. Here I defined the rotation axis, dragged a little on this gizmo, and the line was rotated. And here I enter a specific rotation value, 30 degrees, and press enter and enter once again to confirm it. And now I want to get this line on the other side of the y-axis, so I activate the mirror command, press the F key, type mirror, and choose this command, and now I click this gizmo so that I get a copy of this line on the other side of the y-axis, and I click OK to confirm it. Now I choose the geometry trimming command and trim this fragment of the circle. I click OK to cancel this command and turn off the visibility of these lines. And now, based on this arc, I will create two more arcs so that this arc will be the arc that passes through the center of the slot. I select this arc and press the O key to activate the offset command. Then I press the D key, 5, enter, and enter once again to confirm it. And geometry was created by offsetting this arc by 5. Now we will do the same thing in the other direction. I activate the offset command, press the O key, press the D key to define the offset distance, and in this case I am offsetting in the negative direction, so I type -5, press enter and enter once again to confirm. Now I choose the circle drawing command and draw a circle whose center will lie at this point and the second point here. And once again I choose circle drawing, place the center of the circle here and place the second point here. I don't need this line, I select this line and delete this line. And now I choose the trim command and select this fragment of the circle and this fragment of the circle as the geometry to trim. I click OK and we have something like this. Now these arc geometries are separate geometries and I would like to get 3 copies evenly distributed around this circle, and we can do that at this stage. To do this we select all geometries. We can do this with a selection window or simply with the shift key select each of these geometries, but we can also do it so that I select all geometries and press the J key, and all these geometries have been joined into one geometry, and now it is one single geometry. And okay, this geometry is selected. I choose the radial array command. This is a command that will allow us to create copies evenly distributed around a circle. I place the center of this array at the origin of the coordinate system, and here I set the number of copies to 3. I press enter and enter once again to confirm it. I close the sketch, I rotate the view slightly. I do this by pressing the middle mouse button and I can rotate the view, and with the scroll wheel we zoom in and out. Now I switch to selecting faces. Here, using this function, besides model faces, we can also select areas of flat geometries, and the extrude command was automatically activated. Now I press the D key, type 10, press enter and enter once again to confirm it. Now we will create another geometry. I switch to selecting edges. I select this edge, and based on this edge I will create geometry. I do it by pressing the Shift plus D keyboard shortcut. Now this geometry is selected. I press the O key, press the D key, type 10, press enter and enter once again to confirm it. And now I have an area that was created between these geometries. The extrude command is active. I press the D key, type 40, press enter and enter once again to confirm it. Now I rushed a little because two separate solids were created here. The second solid that I created was created as a separate solid, and at this stage we can join these solids together, but I will show you a way in which we can join this solid to another solid right away while creating the extrude operation. I deleted that solid, I simply selected this solid in the outliner and pressed the delete key. And now once again, I select this area, the extrude operation is activated automatically. I press D, type 40 and confirm the dimension value. Before I confirm the operation, here we have these context commands, and here we have the union command, which we can activate by pressing the Q key on the keyboard. I press this key and click with the left mouse button on the solid to which I want to add the newly created solid. I click OK, and now we have one single solid. I click with the left mouse button on the group of flat geometries and click the eye icon next to one of these geometries to turn off the visibility of all flat geometries. Now I press the 2 key to switch to selecting edges. I select this edge, I press the D key, type 5, press enter and enter once again to confirm, and in this way we created a fillet. Now I press the 3 key to switch to selecting faces. I select this face. Here the push face command is activated automatically, but based on the edges of this face, I would like to create an edge chamfer here. That is why now I use the Ctrl+2 keyboard shortcut to switch from face selection to edge selection. The fillet command was automatically activated and I press the C key, type 1, press enter and enter once again to confirm it. Then I select this face, the Ctrl+2 keyboard shortcut, C1, enter and enter once again to confirm it. And as you can see, we created this solid in Plasticity quite quickly. This solid has precisely defined dimensions, it has a precisely defined shape, and we can also make elements of this type in this program. What is more, Plasticity is based on the Parasolid kernel. This is a kernel used in many popular 3D CAD systems, and in Plasticity we can save files in XT format, but we can also save these files to step format. If you want to save these to step format, then here we choose export from the menu, and here we have the available extensions that we can use. We have Parasolid files here, but we also have the step extension, and files in step format can be opened in many different CAD CAM systems. So as you can see, when creating 3D models in Plasticity, we can later open such models in another 3D CAD system or in another CAM system. And based on such a part, we can prepare, for example, a program for a CNC milling machine. And I will end this video here, and as I said earlier, if you want to learn more about 3D modeling in Plasticity, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel.